家好，欢迎收看对话好莱坞，我是肖云。那么在好莱坞呢，喜剧演员都是多才多艺的。今天呢，我们来到了 Comedy Sportz， 来看看他们这里的演员们怎么给观众们带去欢乐。
洛杉矶是美国单口相声最为活跃的城市，每天晚上，一些声名远播的表演者会到好莱坞的喜剧俱乐部登台演出。如果不能在某个晚上欣赏其中一些单口相声大师们的表演，让自己开怀大笑，那么你在洛杉矶的生活必定不够完整。洛杉矶的喜剧俱乐部因其出类拔萃而颇有名气，许多喜剧明星都是在洛杉矶较小的一些舞台上开始自己的职业生涯。而这种喜剧形式之所以受追捧的原因，是喜剧演员们凭借自己的临场反应和幽默感创造的即兴轻松的氛围。
So can you give us a little bit more information of what actually you do on a stage?
Yeah. So Comedy Sportz is improv comedy, which means everything is improvised, made up on the spot. Our format is called short form. That means we're not telling one whole long story for the whole show. We're not doing long extended scenes. We're doing games that are really fun and quick and a lot of times loud and big characters and lots of silliness happening. And it's two teams competing against each other. So you have the blue team, you can see my lovely jersey. The blue team versus the red team, and there's a referee like in a striped shirt with a whistle and a stopwatch and everything. And we compete against each other. We like one team plays a game, the other team plays a game, and then the audience gets to choose by applause who they thought was funnier. And then whoever was funnier gets points. And at the end of the game, you see who's the winner and who's the dumb loser. We don't really call them dumb losers.
自从喜剧俱乐部这种艺术表演形式开始之初，有数不尽的艺人在登台表演，取悦台下挑剔的观众。
That you would love to see. Yes, yell them out.
A motorcycle chase.
Ooh.
现在举世闻名的演员 Eddie Murphy、Ellen DeGeneres、Adam Sandler， 过去也曾在小小的喜剧舞台上演出。从大放异彩到默默无闻，每晚都有喜剧演员登台表演，想要追随这些大明星的脚步。这间小小的俱乐部就像温馨的客厅，观众与舞台的距离非常近。
So you don't actually have a script? No. So how do you get the show running?
Oh my goodness. We know the rules of the different games. So like Spelling Bee, which is this game where you spell words one letter at a time with your teammates. And we'll often bring an audience member up. So you know the rules of the game, but you never know what's going to happen within the game. So can you spell a word with me one letter at a time? Can we try that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to spell the word super.
Okay.
Just one letter at a time. So we'll say super at the beginning together, and then one letter at a time, and then at the end we'll both say super.
Super.
Okay. So are you ready? S. Oh wait, we say super at the beginning together. Here we go. Ready? Super. S.
U.
P.
E.
R. Super! Yes, that's exactly. So that's like improv where we build on it. And then we can use it in a sentence. So I might say, once
You
came
with
me
to
find
a
super
market.
Yay! So see, I didn't know where that sentence was going. I had to wait for you to say it.
Who are you? You one of my dad's friends? Al, please don't do that. Hey, okay.
So then I got to work with a lot of puppets. I did a bunch of puppet voices and got to puppeteer characters. Yeah, and that's a whole different type of performing. And I produced an improvised puppet show as well, getting to tell a long story for an hour with puppets. Like literally all of our characters were these elaborate puppets made by a puppet maker named Joe Sabatino.
Can you show me a little bit?
Yeah, okay, so here's a lesson in puppeteering. You generally, when you're puppeteering for TV, you want your arm to be able to be straight up because the camera will frame out your body. So you have your arm up here and you're looking at a TV monitor to get to see what the camera is showing. And you want to be able to look straight at the camera. So if I'm puppeteering to like this camera, I would like turn, I would be watching what the camera sees and I would like turn to camera and I would talk. Then I could talk to you. But then for comedic effect, you can do like a double take, you know, what? And like, you know, look at something. So yeah, do you want to try? So you get your hand like this, right? And you move the bottom thumb as like as your mouth. Yeah. And every time you talk, you want your mouth to be open. So say this sentence with me. Say, once you came with me to the supermarket.
Once you came with me to the supermarket.
You're natural. Look at that. That was good. Yeah. Because a lot of times people will puppeteer like this, and it's like you don't close your mouth when you're talking. It's not like It's like no. I went to the supermarket.
Yeah.
Here's one of our dressing rooms where we have some of our jerseys. Some of these aren't even used anymore. They were from like years past, but we keep them because, you know, it's like history. And here's the ref jersey. This is what the person in charge of the whole show wears. And then this is kind of where the ladies sit and do our makeup before a show. This is where, before a show, these are like a list of tons of our different games. It's kind of where we come and we look and pick and choose what games we want to play for the night. And there are so many to choose from.
Each of us also are professional actors, not just comedians, so during some of the scenes, to really connect and feel our character, like say a character dies, and like, oh no! We
get that reaction.
Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah, because we are professional actors. It's a movie. We're doing a movie in front of you with like scene edits and the lighting and the music. In the audience, it feels like you're sitting down and watching a movie until we come out there and grab you, and all of a sudden you're in the movie, and it's like, what is happening? This is great.
These are the Comedy Sportz players you can see. Just these aren't even all of them. We have about 45 players in the company, and you can see them perform most nights of the week. We have Comedy Sportz shows themselves on Friday and Saturday, and then we have specialty shows like The Resistance, the improvised action movie, improvised Shakespeare, and other specialty shows on Fridays and Sundays, and then more shows throughout the week.
So, what does the audiences usually say about your shows here?
They love it. At the end, we do a high five train. Like as people run out, they can give us high fives. And we're like, thank you. People say it is so fun for the whole family that they haven't laughed that hard in years. We've had people say, people will say that they can't wait for Saturdays because that's when they come to see it. We have people who come every week to see the show, and it's like the highlight of their week. And we also offer classes, so a lot of people go, how do I do what you do? We say, come, take classes, learn.
I'll end with this. I saw an ad recently in Los Angeles that really confused me. It was a picture of a teenage boy, and he was leaning up against a wall, and he had his hands in his face. And all the ad said was, I smoked pot once, and now I'm gay. That's a real ad in your city. Just know that. And it baffled me, because from my experience, that is not what pot does to me. When I get high, I end up at a drive-thru like, do you guys have burrito milkshakes? And they're like, sir, you're at a bank, you need to wait. Oh, shit, sorry.
Then we also have long-form shows here. We have a show called The Resistance, which is an improvised action movie where they improvise and do all their own stunts. Like they cover the stage with like mats and gym equipment and are lifting each other up and flipping each other around doing an improvised action movie, and that's like an hour and 15 minutes long. We also do an improvised Shakespeare here. We do a show that I'm in that's starting April 11th called My Cousin's Wedding, and the whole thing takes place as though you're at a wedding, and there's a camera on 4 of the actors in the front row who you get to know them as couples who are at a wedding, and you get to find out why they're at the wedding and things from their past, and that's just really neat. So people, we have people in the company who have been and are going to be on huge TV shows and movies. Derek Mears played Jason in a remake of Friday the 13th. It's like a major film. Lauren Pritchard was on Mad TV. I have done a children's show for the Sprout Network that's on Sprout and NBC Saturday mornings called The Chica Show. So you have people that are doing big, huge, crazy. One of our alum is on The Daily Show. You have people who are doing such amazing things, and they kind of started here, spelling words one letter at a time.
Are you ready?
Yes!
Got my plastic explosives. Jim? Boom! Oh! God, that hurt! You jerk! Jim, are you okay?
I'm fine, Frank. I'm fine.
Darn it! Good.
Ow!
Good.
Ow! Plastic explosives again in the doorway.
So many of them, I just don't know what to do.
Well, you need to plant them somewhere. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Whoa! You, Loki's evil, are a twin brother. I shall defeat you.
I'm not. Okay, he found me.
How dare you? I just saw things.
I am a god!
He's adopted.
Go to the scene where they explain to their boss what happened at the bomb. Yeah.
So basically what happened during the scene is I imagine like everyone blowing stuff up, right? You know, like all those other movies, like Michael Bay movies. And basically, like, what they were doing was they were just playing around with explosives. One guy lost a finger, kind of sucked. And then, really, what I really wanted is for Thor to just have the immense power that he deserves. And he was just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm Thor with a hammer. Should be a Nokia cell phone thing, you know? You know? And I really felt like the scene could have been a lot better than it already is. But, you know, I directed it, so I feel like that's appropriate. And also, you know, let me see the scene. That was the exact part that I want to tell you about. Basically, what we did in general, because we hate Thor, like a lot. We wanted to like, we put a little like mini explosive in his hand, you know, like in Mission Impossible. And then like during that scene, we blew him up, and it was like woo, and it was so cool. And then drag him, and we punched him while he was unconscious. It was really awesome. You know, like I wonder if I can ever listen to director's commentaries. Do they ever like, you know, there could be a cure for like autism or cancer in the director's commentary. No one ever listens to this. Have you noticed that? Really? It's weird. Anyway, back to my movie.
Cut to the big. It's a huge bomb and they gotta disarm it. Cut to that scene.
I'm Tony Stark. No! How am I restraining the Hulk? Ow! Stop! No! Alright, this bomb is really big and scary. Stop it! This bomb is really...
Cut to the auditions for the Hulk.
Yes, Hulk.
Charles Stark parody before. Are you kidding me? You're not even green. Well, that's just my imagination.
You don't even go here. You don't even go.
She doesn't even go here.
Go.
Oh, now this Hulk.
Right?
I like your cheekbones. They look
I know. No.
Actually, she has a lot more, what is it? Charisma than you do.
Alright then.
Cut to the final scene of the movie.
Iron Man.
Hawkeye, because no one likes it.
No one likes
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Ow.
And that's time.
Do people here have to have a like acting or theater background?
No, in fact, we have most just are because we're drawn to it, you know. But we have people who are we have a guy who's a financial advisor. We have a lawyer. We have people who come from very different walks of life who just are naturally really funny. We have writers. We have a casting director. We have people who are kind of like, you know, they're coworkers. So the whole life, people are like, you're really funny. You should do comedy. Okay. Yeah. Come here, learn how to do it, and then get to go on stage.
So, what is the most funny game? As far as you can remember.
One of my favorite games to play at Comedy Sportz. Oh, you guys would have so much fun coming back and taking the show with you. So, I love. There's this game called Forward Reverse, where you and I do a scene. It's usually very physical because I love being very physical, but it's usually very physical. And the referee, because our format is two teams, the red team and the blue team, competing against each other, and there's a referee. Yeah. So the referee blows their whistle, and whenever they blow their whistle, and they can make you go in reverse in your scene, and then they make you go forward. So like, if at any point, if I'm like, smell this pie, the referee could go, tweet reverse, and I would have to go, smell this pie, and put it back. There was forward. Smell this pie, and then I hand it to you, and then we might continue forward, and you might go and like throw it in my face, and then he would go reverse, and then you would and then you go forward, and then you would smash me in the face again with the pie, and it's just super crazy, but it's a good exercise for memory because you have to remember what you just did.
Yeah. I like Scarlett. Captain Red to the playing field. What game do you want to play now? Tag team monologue. Okay, what event just happened? Or for tag team monologue, the players one player's gonna be in front of 3 other players, and they're gonna be saying a monologue, but they're all gonna be saying the same character, and they're gonna be picking up and continuing where each other leaves off. You'll see, they'll tap each other out. So what is an event that happened that these people witnessed?
The death of a salesman.
What? Bear attack. A bear attack happened, and you guys that's what happened. That's your guys' suggestion, a bear attack. Players, are you ready for tag team monologue?
Yes, we are. Hello, I'm Hilda. So this one time, I go out in wood, right? I live in the wood. So we out there in wood, and I see big bears. They live out here, right? So I go out for camping trip in wood, like behind my house in wood. So we're out there, and I take my lovely friends with me. They're all goats. And, so we're out there, and we are on a lovely camping trip, just the 3 of us. Me, goat 1, and goat 2. As we're out there, we lay out a lovely campsite with a tent. And the fires, and the beans, and the milk for the goats. Ba, ba, they say ba when they ba, 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 ba. Ba is what the goats say. As we're laying there in the moonlight and the stars, because they have those in the sky at nighttime.
So I was just sitting there, and then out of nowhere, out of wood, come back, right? Bear, had red star on chest. I don't know why, just bad. So he comes there, and I'm like, oh no, what to do? So I take goat 1, I put him in front of me, and I take goat 2, and I put him in front of me. And I just tie him up like no big deal, right? So then I was like, okay, Bear, let's make an agreement. Let's make a pact, yeah? Yeah, what's our pact? What? Okay.
We're sitting there under stars because it's still nighttime, and we are filing each other's nails, and he has claws because bears do not have nails. So we are sitting there filing each other's nails because bears do that sometimes. And so then we get to talk. We get to talking, and me and the bear.
And then the bear's wife comes, and I'm like, oh no, bear wife, no. And the bear's wife is like, and I'm like, look, bear wife, we can talk this out, yeah? And the bear wife's like, no, we can't.
Then I'm like, oh, you speak us the English. And I'm like, she's like, yeah, I speak us the English. So I said, oh, we have to
we both speak English. Sometimes I get Italian accent when I'm, talking to bears. So, as I'm talking to Bear Wife, we look at each other and we have this moment like this. And I slowly reach one file nail out to touch her bare face. Her bare face. The most beautiful laughter. Was I, and the bear was like, har. Bears laugh like that. It's like an inside joke. So Bear and I are sitting there. Bear wife, Bear husband. And then out of nowhere, come Bear baby. And I look at Bear baby and I say, and I look at the two parents and I say, look what you have created.
It was so beautiful and great. The dog and the bear baby, and it was just so great. And that's how the bear attack. What's up, bear attack?
And that's
I guess sometimes you want to stretch beforehand. But my duo partner Lauren and I, this last week, I was standing up on a chair and I was an angel who had appeared to her. And of course it's improv, so like there's no costumes, it's just us wearing our normal clothes and you're creating the world around you by just imagining it. And we had created that I was an angel inside of a mirror. And I like pushed through the mirror and I like came out of the mirror and she then lifted me to make it look like I was floating and she like spun me around as I like lowered myself to the ground. Our chairs are squeaky. And as I like lowered to the ground, and it's just so fun because it's imaginative play. Like, do you remember when you were a kid? Like, the toys you would play with were real. Like, it was like, this little pony is real and I get to pretend like she's galloping through the fields or like flying. Like, we get to pretend to do that for real life.
How long have you been with Comedy Sportz?
I originally was with Comedy Sportz Philadelphia, and then I joined Comedy Sportz Los Angeles in February of last year. So I've been here with them for a year. And I'm blown away by the amount of talent that's here.
How do you feel like being here?
Like family. Yeah, because you have to really trust each other. You know, if you and I know every week we're gonna make something out of nothing, you have to go, oh, I trust what Kelly is gonna do. And I say to you, like, don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna make you uncomfortable or scare you. You know, you really have to trust each other like you trust your family, as long as you have a good family.
好了，今天的节目就是这样。但是如果你想要了解更多好莱坞精彩的故事，那继续关注我们下期的节目。我是肖云，我们下期对话好莱坞再见。